Today, I am going to give you 10 reasons why you need to change your diet and lifestyle before you conceive. And I am talking to you, I am talking to both of you and your partner, if available. So if you do not have your partner with you now, then please go and get them, pause this video, get them to watch this. I want you to see this information together, okay? So I will go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Crystal Melanson. I am a certified clinical nutritionist, a certified functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner, and a certified natural chef. And I help women and couples maximize and mend their fertility. So I often get people that ask, like, why should I waste this time? Why should I waste money? Why should I spend any of this energy on my health before we conceive? Why don't we just start trying? Why don't we see what happens? And I'm going to tell you exactly why that is not the approach you want to take, okay? And, I understand people want to live it up to the last moment before they get pregnant, but it's really important that we incorporate this time before you conceive into the whole picture. This is a part of the process as well. So why should you spend time, energy, and money investing in yourself and investing in your health to spend this during this preconception period before you conceive? Because it matters. It really, really matters. And evidence and research proves it. So I'm going to tell you about one study that lasted over 2 years. It had over 360 couples in it, and it helped show this evidence. So 37% of the couples previously had a diagnosis of infertility. 38% of them had a history of miscarriage. 11% had to have a therapeutic abortion in the past. 3% experienced stillbirth. And 15% of the babies that were born at a low birth weight. And after they went through a natural preconception program, so doing all these things, working on their health in this preconception program, there was astounding results. There were no miscarriages experienced. There were no perinatal deaths or malformations. No baby had to go in the ICU, when the normal expectation would have been 70 miscarriages and 6 malformations. That's astounding, right? And 89% of the participants had a live birth. 81% of those were the ones that were previously diagnosed infertile. This is amazing. This is amazing evidence that these actions work. And they're currently performing larger studies to get bigger and better results, but the similar excellent results are already coming in. So they are already having these statistics showing up from their larger studies. The University of England is currently conducting another natural fertility study, so showing that participation in a preconception program has incredible results as well. And all of the couples in this program were actually diagnosed infertile, and 25% of them were over the age of 40. So not good ways to start out, right? But so far in their study, 52% of the infertile couples have conceived. They have conceived within 4 months following the program. That's amazing, right? So if those statistics are not enough for you, I'm going to give you 10 more reasons why you and your partner need to participate in a preconception program. You need to be making these changes before you conceive. So number 1 is the important genetic development that takes place in the first few weeks of pregnancy. So in those first couple weeks, like before many women are even aware that they're pregnant, very important processes are taking place. So often before you even are aware that anything is happening, brain development of your baby has started. Their entire nerve and spine system are developed within those first few weeks. Dr. Hayward, which is the professor of obstetrics and gynecology at Duke University and also is the president on the board, states that those last 3 to 6 months before you attempt to conceive really need to be focused on improving and making sure that you maintain quality health. And that is because those first few weeks before you can even do anything, before you even know that you're pregnant, to take action are so critical. So take action before that happens. And an example is we know how important folic acid is those first few weeks to prevent neural tube defects. But what if you have a genetic issue, which is coming up? It's a large percentage of people. I've talked about it a lot. And the supplements that you are taking are not the right kind for your body and not going to be received well. What if your nutrient levels are lower and you do not have all that you need to provide for your baby, to provide for this new growing life? And if you enter pregnancy with low nutrient levels, you are playing a really difficult game of catch up that you're likely not going to win, because your body is already going through so much that it's going to be really hard to get those levels up where they need to be. So number one is that those first few weeks are critical for your baby's development before you can take action after just getting pregnant. Number two is that the maturation of egg and sperm happens prior to conception in a 3 to 4 month window. So 3 to 4 months for an egg to mature and sperm to mature. During that time, what you are doing is influencing the quality of those eggs, the quality of those sperm, and the DNA, what you are giving, what you are literally creating your child with. So what are you doing 4 months ago before you're conceiving that's going to affect not just your ability to conceive, but the health of your baby? Are you going out to drink a lot? Were you even thinking about your diet? Were you on supplements? Were you under a lot of stress? Some people, like I mentioned, feel the need to kind of like go all out before they get pregnant. But you need to have these healthy activities to have this in place, because your baby is already being developed. Your baby is already being developed. And the evidence is showing that what you are doing in this preconception period can negatively affect your baby before you even conceive them. Number three is that there is actually a recent study that came out that showed, guys, I'm talking to you, that the father's diet, the quality of diet, may affect their child's health before conception. So what you are eating, men, before you conceive is going to affect your child's health. And this research suggested that lower nutrient levels deficiencies, specifically in folate, was shown to increase chances of birth defects by 30%. That's huge. And that's just one nutrient that they were looking at. Like, this is showing us obviously that there's so much to your health that is mattering, that matters before you conceive, that you need to pay attention to. And so the father's genes are also really important to the development of the placenta. So that organ that women grow to nourish their baby, to literally nourish and feed their baby, has an impact by the father's genes. And so that can impact if you are nourishing your baby to your best potential. So you guys, you're really more involved in it than just doing the fun part. You're a bigger piece to this puzzle. And also for your own health, not only is this important for your baby, but actually men that had lower sperm quality are shown to have a higher mortality rate, so a lower lifespan of even up to 7.7 years. That's a long time. So if you are having issues, with your sperm, that's a sign that there's something deeper going on in your health that we need to explore, because we want you to be around for your family, for these new growing children that you are bringing into your world. Number 4 is that couples that are obese, that have a higher weight, excess fat, are at a higher risk of miscarriage, lower chances of conceiving, and higher risk of preterm birth. And, overweight pregnant moms are actually at a higher risk of heart disease, of preeclampsia, of gestational diabetes. And once your child is born, your child is also at a higher risk of obesity and future diabetes as well. So optimizing your weight before you conceive, or even just losing, a little bit of weight in a healthy manner, can really make a huge impact on your outcomes and your future. And this isn't just about BMI. So we get caught up, the traditional world can get caught up in BMI. It's so much more than that. This isn't crash dieting to get to a certain number, definitely not. Remember everything we've talked about so far, that your health is really important. And excess weight is a symptom. It's a symptom too that there's something deeper going on in your body that isn't being supported correctly, that isn't balanced, that we want to address and help you with. So figuring out what that is, how we can support you to help you lose weight in a healthy manner in the preconception period can help increase your chances of successful conception, a healthy pregnancy, and a healthy baby. Number 5 is one of my favorites, and that is your gut health, and why your gut health is so incredibly important to the development of your baby and your baby's future. So this is an exciting new world of research that we've really started to talk about more in the last few years. But vitamin deficiencies, blood sugar imbalances, things like this are all linked to an increase in problems. And at the root of it, it is your gut health a lot of times. And strategic approaches to making dietary and lifestyle changes to support your gut have been shown to significantly increase your chances of a healthy conception, a healthy pregnancy, and a healthy baby. Your gut microbiome during pregnancy is now being shown to impact the development of your baby, its neurological development, its immune system development, and its intestinal health for both you and your baby. The first thing your baby is exposed to, bathed in, is your bacteria, your microbiome when they are birthed. And this has a huge impact, a very strong impact on the trajectory for the rest of their life, for their health. So making sure that you have a healthy gut microbiome, really, it quite literally changes the rest of your baby's life. And I see gut infections and poor gut health every single day. I mean, literally in everyone to some degree, we need to do a little gut work because of the diet and our environment and what's around us. And if you have more issues, this needs to be addressed in months before you conceive, because once you're pregnant or nursing, we don't want to do any hard detox or eradication of these bad gut bacteria. We need to give yourself space and time to do this before you can conceive. And this is so important because your gut health, it also affects how you metabolize and create vitamins and even your hormones. So there's a whole set of gut bacteria that processes estrogen like crazy. It's so important. Your gut bacteria is so important. And I could go on the importance of it, really. But those are some critical examples as to why we need to get your gut health in check before you conceive. Number 6 is, unfortunately, that your chances of miscarriage go up as you get older. But evidence shows that you can help to influence this. You can help to prevent this. And it's known that pregnancy losses are due to more than one factor. There's normally not just one thing that goes into the result of a pregnancy loss. And that means that we just need to support your whole body, right? We need a comprehensive, natural way to address all of the factors that could be contributing. And so that is something that we can do with a functional approach, with this natural fertility approach, is try to hit all of your risk factors from different sides and really help support your body overall to prevent miscarriage. Number 7 is our children's health. So children now are sicker than they've ever been. They have shorter lifespans than their parents. Our health is deteriorating on a global rate, and we can make a difference by bringing children into this world that are healthier, that are set up well. We can prevent and reduce risks of chronic disease, of cancer, of serious things, yes, in the preconception time. And researchers did conclude, I'll read you this quote, that the preconception period is a key window during which poor maternal and paternal, so woman and man, physiology, their body composition, their metabolism, and their diet can induce an increased risk of chronic disease in their children. So this can be a lifetime legacy, a major driver of the health burden in the 21st century. That's huge. Literally, how we are taking care of ourselves before we conceive, as we conceive, is setting up the trajectory for our children's health in the future and making a difference on a global level. I know that sounds dramatic, but it's so true. Number 8 is if you are already struggling with some sort of health condition. If you have PCOS, for example, I talk about that a lot, or a man or a woman with low thyroid, with autoimmunity, with digestive issues, mood imbalances, these are all proven to be reversed or significantly impacted to be improved with diet and lifestyle changes done in a strategic manner. More than 50% of women that have PCOS will develop diabetes or prediabetes before the age of 40. They are also 4 to 7 times higher risk of a heart attack than women without heart disease or without PCOS. And they have a higher risk of infertility, of anxiety, of depression, of high blood pressure. They are at a higher risk of these problems, and that is because their PCOS, this diagnosis, is not being supported properly. We are not figuring out why they are having trouble. And you can do that. You can reduce and reverse the chances of all of these and a strategic natural approach. And doing this in the preconception period before you start trying, so that you are not long down the road and frustrated and tired because you didn't help support these and get to the root of these issues before the fact, earlier in the ball game. And number 9 is about money. So that's an issue that can come up a lot, right? I'm already spending money, especially if maybe you were already doing fertility treatments. You're spending effort, you're spending money on that. Why would I want to do a natural approach? Why would I want to invest in that as well? Because it is critical. Because, I'll ask you, if you're already spending so much money, an IUI, that's normally one of the first routes, can cost $3,000 for one cycle. And success is only 10 to 20%. If you do 3 to 6 cycles, which is on average before being successful or moving to IVF, that is a lot of money, not to mention time, stress, and effort. What if, because you can, what about improving your chances of success beforehand, or even avoiding it altogether, avoiding having to spend that money through a natural approach, which I told you at the very beginning, it can do. Research is showing that. Or if you are doing these treatments, if you move on to these treatments, making sure that they're as effective as they possibly can so that you don't have to spend more money. IVF, so an IVF cycle is extremely expensive, over $12,000 normally. And success rates are between 25 and 40%, and an average of 3 cycles are needed, right? That's tens of thousands of dollars. Once again, what about improving your chances of success, improving your fertility, making it more successful so that even if you are doing IVF, even if you are going down that route, you're making it more successful in that first cycle. You know, that is a tiny fraction of the cost. This is a tiny fraction of the cost for the impact that you are having and how you could end up spending even more money. You know, not to mention supplements have been shown to be more effective or just as effective as things like metformin and Clomid, and don't have those terrible side effects, because there's much more to it too. All the time, stress, effort, energy, side effects, physical changes you're going through. Let's support it all and try to reduce any negativity there. And that brings me to number 10, which is the mental and emotional side of things. This is not just a physical journey. It is so much more to that. And I hope men are really understanding everything your lady is going through, or those partners that are not getting, the ones being pregnant, but understanding what your partner is going through. It brings up a lot of anxiety, even just to think about getting pregnant. You know, higher stress levels are associated with a higher chance of miscarrying in those first few weeks. And mind-body support intervention has been shown to increase pregnancy rates in women undergoing IVF from 42% up to 52%. So once again, giving that edge, and how can we fully support both of you and your whole being. So we can look into your body's health, we can look into your partner's health, we can find areas that we can support, that we can improve, find explanations to your unexplained, find underlying causes to your health and fertility problems. This is not just for now, this is setting up your entire future. And with a functional approach, in this natural approach, we can do that, and it doesn't have to be an overwhelming struggle. So I know you want to be the best you can be. I know you care about the health of your future baby. I know you care about the health and the future of your family. So what's your excuse again? Let me ask you, what's your hesitancy to do something, to do things that, once again, have so much evidence and proof behind them? Once again, to just help you, because this is meant to be an empowering journey for you. And so please think about these things, talk about these things together, really reconsider where you're putting your time, your energy, your money. Are they really supporting your goals and your future? And, you know, really, can you invest in yourself? This is for your future and for your future family. So thank you for hanging out with me, and I hope you really picked up this important information.